Monday, Microsoft Japan has tested out a new 4-day work week.
And they found that by giving workers that 3-day weekend, productivity jumped by almost 40%. There is something about this idea of working kind of a more intense 4-day stretch, and you cut out all those kind of the ramping up at the start of your workday, the ramping down, and if you can work and get your work done, you can be more efficient.
Right, and you also know that you have a shorter amount of time to do it, so you're not going to say, oh, I'm going to wait, I'm going to hold this off. But they also did something else as part of this experiment, too, is they shortened meetings. That meetings had to be shortened to 30 minutes. They had more telecommuting, so they made other changes, too, to make it easier to get your work fitted all in the 4 days.
Meetings, I feel like, can drag on and on, so I think that that's a great idea. And you oftentimes have people just, going off topic, maybe talking out of turn, and then they can just last forever.
I feel like I'm being personally attacked here, Allie. I'm right here.
We don't have any meetings, Jason. You know this, unless they're 5-minute post-show meetings. Compared to corporate, though, I feel like that happens a lot.
For sure.
Yeah, and I also think that this is a little different too. The culture in Japan is just so different. I mean, they work so much. They put in so much extra time. But the other thing I think about this, too, is like this only happened for a month, right? Well, once you get used to a 4-day work week, what happens then?
Do you slough off as much?
Yeah, for sure. I think that this would be really effective, kind of how I would say most Minnesotans do it, right? On summer Fridays, where you work a 4-day week for maybe 2 or 3 months, and then you work a 5-day week the rest. I think that that would be the most efficient way to do it.
I think it would be hard to incorporate it here in the United States.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah.
On a permanent basis.
On a permanent basis. If everybody took Friday off, or you had talked about, Jason had talked about an idea of maybe, well, you kind of have people have different days off, but then that also makes that a little bit confusing as well.
Well, I mean, I think this could work in a more factory-type scenario.
Right, yeah.
Right, so like a regular office where maybe you're client-focused, and so the client expects you to be available on 5 days. Frankly, people expect you to be available 7 days a week. So I don't know how this would work for a service, for a lawyer, an accountant, whatever. But if I had a manufacturing plant, it might be very appealing to try to do 4 10-hour shifts, and then just you could slide people into whatever you wanted.
And you see that happen a lot in like the medical field, where you have nurses working 4-day work weeks, longer shifts, and then they maybe have 3 days off one week.
We should try it here. We'll just put reruns on of The Big Bang Theory or something.
All Friday long.
On Fridays.
Summer.
Can we do that on Thanksgiving and Christmas?
Just cue up an old newscast. See how that works?
Big Bang is a very good show.
Very good.
It's very good.
Not as good as this one.
Maybe not